This is mod 1 for the bear flip. Starting in that 4-point position, knees under hips, feet hip distance apart, hands underneath the shoulders. Pick those knees up off the floor. We're lifting the same hand and the same foot. Left side, and now try the right. Exhale. Transfer your weight each time. Keep the belly button pulled in. This is mod 2 for the bear flip. Starting in your 4-point position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, pick those knees up off the floor. We're gonna lift the left leg and the left arm up at the same time, keeping the bend in the knee and the elbow. And now try the other side. Opening the hips and shoulders to the side. Transferring the weight from one side of the body to the other. This is mod 1 for the bent over Zen swing. Starting with your feet wider than hip distance apart. A little micro bend into the knees. You're just gonna start to move those arms around the body. Letting the hips direct the movement. So let that left hip come forward and then the right hip. And the arms will just follow. Eyes are forward, working through the rotation of the upper back. This is mod 3 for the bent over Zen swing. Starting with your feet wider than hip distance apart. Little nice bend into those knees. Grab that golf club, hinge from the hips about 45 degrees. From here, the movement is in the upper back. So think about rotating that upper spine, bringing the right shoulder blade and the left shoulder blade towards that mid back. Breathing. Think exhaling on exertion. This is mod 1 for the cross crawl. Starting with feet in neutral position. Give yourself a hug with those arms, fingertips onto the shoulders. Standing on your left foot first, pick up the right leg and twist towards that lifted leg. Release that foot back to the floor and change. Pick up the opposite leg, twist toward the lifted leg and change. The exhales on exertion. This is mod 2 for the cross crawl. Starting with your feet in neutral position. Bring out those Russian arms. We're gonna lift the right leg and then rotate towards that lifted leg. Come back to neutral, change. Pick up the other leg, twist towards it, come back to neutral. Lift and twist. Lift and twist. Breathing, exhale on exertion. This is mod 3 for the cross crawl. Bringing those arms out in waking position. Lift up your right leg all the way to 90 degrees, dorsiflex flex that foot, and then twist towards that right leg. Come back through center, change. Pick up the opposite leg and twist towards it. Come back through center and change. No pause in between. Lift and twist. Lift, twist. Try not to think about bringing the elbow towards the knee. Just think about lifting and twisting around the axis of the spine. Exhales on exertion. This is mod 1 for the crossing lunge drill. Starting with your feet in a neutral position. Bring your hands onto your hips and turn your torso to the right 45 degrees. Step forward with that left foot. Find a 30-degree bend into that front knee. Now step back to center, and now for the other side. Step forward with the right foot, bend into both knees, come back to center. Now for a little squat jump, bend those knees to 30, jump up, and reset. Now we go the other way first. Right foot steps forward, turn your body, bend your knees. Back to center, other way. Left foot forward, turn your body, bend both knees, a little squat jump. This is mod 2 for the crossing lunge drill. We're moving our body from left to right as we lunge the body, finding a little jump squat in the middle. Let's go. We're gonna start with our feet just wider than hip distance apart. You're gonna reach those arms out in front. So let's start with that little squat, lunge, leading with the left foot, turning your body to the right. And now come back to center, and now leading with the right leg, move to the left. Back to center, a little jump. And now the other way, moving with the right leg, back to center, left leg, a little jump, This is mod 3 for the crossing lunge drill. We're going to start in a neutral position. Now this whole movement is based on plyo. So before we lunge and jump, we want to make sure that we're protecting those knees, bending into the knees to get our power, and then landing with soft knees to protect the knees on the way down. We're moving our body from left to right as we lunge the body, finding a little jump squat in the middle. Let's go. Bring those legs wide apart, reach those arms up overhead. Prepare with a little squat. Moving to the right first. Back to center, to the left. Back to center, little jump squat. And now the other way, to the left. Back to center, to the right. Back to center, little jump squat. Reset. This is mod 1 for the drop sumo squat. Starting with our feet in neutral position, reach those arms down in front of you. You're gonna jump down into a sumo squat, 30-degree bend into the knees and the hips. Come back to neutral and then jump it right back out again. This is mod 2 for the drop sumo squat. Starting with your feet in neutral position, reach those arms out in front of you about 45 degrees up away from your legs. You're gonna jump into a sumo squat, bending at the knees and the hips, jumping right back and right back into it. This is mod 1 for the front kicks. Starting in athletic position, left foot forward, right leg back, get those hands up, and we're just gonna do some knee drives. That right knee's gonna come up, and then tap the foot back. So you're just using your core here. Get that knee up. Find your breath. Exhale on the way up to get that knee up. Tap the toe, light on those feet. And make sure you do the second side. This is mod 2 for the front kicks. Let's start in that athletic stance. Left foot forward, right leg back, bring those arms out in front. You're gonna drive that knee up and then add a little kick. So it starts with a knee and then a kick. And kick. Just a little tap back. Your weight is on that front foot. You're using your core. Breath. Exhale on the kick. Keep moving. This is mod 1 for the hamstring push-outs. Starting with your feet, just hip distance apart. Bring your hands onto your hips, bend into the knees, and start to lean forward from the torso. From here, you're just gonna straighten your legs, push the hamstrings back. Bend the knees and extend. Bend and extend. As you extend the legs, bring the weight into the heels, toes lift. Bend and extend. The pace will be determined by your trainer. Getting a nice stretch into those hammies. This is mod 2 for the hamstring push-out. Starting with your feet hip distance apart. Hands onto the quads, bend into those knees. As you extend the legs, the hips move back, the legs straighten, and the chest reaches forward. Nice long spine, feel the stretch into the backs of the legs, and then go again. Bend into those knees, leave your hands where they are, push your hands into the legs, straighten the legs, lengthen the chest forward, bring the weight into the heels. Feel the stretch. Your trainer will determine the pace of the movement. Getting a nice stretch into those hammies. This is mod 1 for the lat wrist stretch. Starting in a tabletop position, knees under hips, hands underneath the shoulders. You're gonna walk your hands forward first, and then walk your hands to the right. Stretching here, just moving your left hip to the left, pushing into that left hand, stretching into the lat here. And then come back to neutral position, stretching through the wrist. Place the back of the right hand onto the floor, just pause there for a little bit, and then change. Place the back of the left hand onto the floor, stretching through the wrist here, coming back to neutral, and then going to the other side. Walk the hands forward, over to the left, push that right hip to the right, push into the right hand, get a nice stretch into that right side of the body. Walking back to center, bring your hands underneath the shoulders, and then just stretch the wrists again one at a time. Coming back to neutral, continuing here. This is mod 2 for the lat wrist stretch. Starting in a tabletop position, knees under hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Walk the hands forward first, and then over to the right. Reaching that left hand forward, you're trying to push your left hip towards that left heel, getting a nice stretch to the left of the body, back of the neck is long. And then walk back through center, place your hands underneath the shoulders, and find a nice stretch for the wrist. So coming onto the back of that right hand, stretching through the wrist here, and then changing, coming onto the other hand, getting a nice stretch into the wrist here, coming back to flat hands, and then we'll do the other side. Walk the hands forward, walk the hands to the left, push that right hip back as you reach that right hand forward, getting a nice stretch into that whole right body. To come out, lift your head, walk your hands back through center, hands under shoulders, coming back to neutral, continuing here. This is mod 3 for the lat wrist stretch. Starting in a tabletop position, walk your hands forward and sink your hips back towards your knees. From here, walk your hands over to the right. Now really push into that left hand as you drive that left hip back, getting a nice stretch into that left body. Breathe into the left side of the ribs, and then inhale, walk those hands back to neutral, bring your hands underneath the shoulders, find a nice wrist stretch here. So just coming onto the backs of the hands one at a time. Try the left side, stretch through that wrist, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, walk the hands forward, hips come back, and then walk your hands over to the left, stretching out through the right body. So push that right hand forward as you reach the right hip back. Nice stretch into that right body. To come out, lift your head, walk your hands back through center, coming back to neutral, continuing here. This is mod 1 for mini windshield wipers. Come to lie on your back. Bring your hands down by your hips about 15 degrees, palms face up to the ceiling. Tip your toes are gonna stay on the floor. You're gonna let your knees come over to the left of your body, keeping the core engaged, belly button pulled in. Lift those knees back up to center, and then do the other side. So just using your core, rotating through the spine, exhaling and inhaling. This is mod 2 for the mini windshield wipers. Come to lie on your back. Bring your arms out at 45 degrees, palms face up to the ceiling, and just pick those knees up off the floor, feet up off the floor. And then from here, you're gonna slowly let your legs come over to the left. Use your core. Lift those knees back up through to center, and then to the other side, maintaining control as you move the body. Belly button in, lift those knees back up, and then to the other side. To come out, just place your feet onto the floor and breathe. This is mod 3 for the mini windshield wipers. Come to lie on your back. Bring your arms out like a T, palms face up to the ceiling. Lift those legs up to 90-degree bends. Hug your belly button in. You're gonna let your knees fall over to the left. Try not to let the knees come to the floor here. Use your core. Draw the belly button in and lift your knees back up to center. And then going to the other side. Slow, controlled movements here. Coming all the way back up. Switching from left to right. To come out, place your feet down onto the floor and breathe. This is mod 1 for the bloat. We're gonna do prone flutters into supine scissor kicks. So you're gonna come to lie on your belly. Your trainer's gonna give you lots of different options here. Do the best you can, keep moving your body. So come to lie on your belly, point those toes, bring those arms out like Egyptian arms, lift the head up, lift the arms out, and just flutter. Opposite arm and opposite leg are moving. After 10 repetitions, just take a little break and then get right back up there again. Think of pointing those toes, back of the neck is long. Breathe. And switching. Now let's get onto our back and do that work for that abdominal wall. So come to lie on your back, reach those legs up towards the ceiling, hands by the hips, palms face up, point your toes, keep a micro bend into the knees, and just cross those legs as quickly as you can. Find your breath. Press the backs of the shoulders and the hands into the floor. Stabilize through the back body as you move those legs. And then continue working here with your trainer back and forth from your prone flutters into those scissor kicks. This is mod 3 for the bloat. Your trainer's gonna give you some options here. You're gonna do prone flutters, and then you're gonna come on your back and do supine scissor kicks. Let's start there. Start on your back, reach those arms out like a T, palms face up, extend those legs forward, plug that belly button in, point those toes, and then start to scissor your legs. So moving as quickly as you can here, try not to let the lower back scoop up off the floor. Get that belly down, use your core, make sure this feels safe in your lower back. If you feel any pulling in your lower back at all, come up a little bit. You're here. So again, just work within your mod here. Use your core. Keep breathing. And now let's go into those prone flutters. So come to lie onto your belly. Reach your arms overhead, forehead to the floor. Point those toes. Now lift everything up off the floor. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Keep moving. The back of the neck stays long. Really work that back body. Keep breathing, you're doing great. Push those hip bones into the floor. Point the toes. Breathe and move. This is mod 1 for the push, swing, pull, side plank. Setting up in side plank position. Right elbow underneath the right shoulder, wrist in front of elbow, fist on the floor. Push your left foot into the floor, make this nice long body of yourself. Right knee is just resting onto the floor, really anchoring down using your core. Bringing that hand in towards your center, you're gonna push that left fist forward. And then you're gonna bring that arm, swing it all the way behind and over the head. And then pull that arm down. And then we reverse. So you go push, swing, pull. Push, swing, pull. Keep moving here with your breath. Push, swing, pull. Working the rotations of the joint. Push, swing, pull. This is mod 2 for the push, swing, pull, side plank. Setting up for side plank position. Elbow under shoulder, wrist in front of elbow, fist on the floor. And then stacking one foot in front of the other, push into the inner and outer arch of your feet, come into your side plank. Starting with your fist towards your chest. You're gonna push that left fist forward in front of the shoulder. Swing that left arm back and over the head, and then pull that left arm down. And then reverse. So you're pushing, swing that left arm back and around, and then pull it in. Continue moving here. Push, swing, pull. Push all the way back, swing, pull. Continue moving. Make sure this feels safe in your body. This is mod 3 for the push, swing, pull, side plank. Setting up in your side plank position. Elbow under shoulder, wrist in front of elbow, fist on the floor. 2 feet stacked, lift those hips up off the floor and start with your left elbow tucked in towards the ribs. Now push that left hand forward. Swing that arm back and around and then pull down. Continue moving here. Push, reverse the movement, swing and pull. Push, swing back and around, pull it down, stop there. Push, swing back and around, pull it in. So really working the rotation of that shoulder joint while maintaining this scapular stabilization, nice strong core. Keep moving, keep breathing. This is mod 1 for the reaching forward lunge. Starting with your feet in neutral position. Bring those arms into that W shape. Elbows tucked into the ribs, palms face up to the ceiling. Step forward with that right foot, bending to the knees about 30 degrees. Find a little rotation and then a reach forward. Come back up through to neutral, step back and do the other side. Step forward with the left foot, make sure the knees are pointing straight forward, twist to the left and then reach down. Come back up through neutral. Continue alternating sides. Step forward, twist, lean forward, come back up, push through that right foot. Pushing into the front foot, come back to neutral. This is mod 3 for the reaching forward lunge. Come into neutral position. Reach those arms out like a T. Step forward with that right foot. Bend into both knees 90 degrees. Twist towards that front leg. Reach your left hand to the inside of that right foot. Lift all the way back up, rotate back to center, push off the front foot, and do the other side. Step forward, big step forward with that left foot. Bend into the knees, rotate, lean forward, come right back up, turn your torso to face forward, and step back up, switching and alternating. This is mod 1 for the reaching shuffle lunge. We're gonna start to the left of our space in that athletic stance. So feet wide apart, toes forward, arms out. We're gonna shuffle to the right twice. 1, 2, now lunge and reach that arm to the right. And now to the other side. Shuffle, shuffle, reach. Shuffle, shuffle, reach. Shuffle, shuffle, reach. This is mod 2 for the reaching shuffle lunge. Starting at the left of your space in an athletic position. Bring those arms out in front. We're gonna shuffle to the right twice and then reach and lunge. Shuffle, shuffle, lunge, and reach. Other way, shuffle, shuffle, lunge, and reach. Keep moving. is mod 3 for the reaching, shuffle, lunge. Starting to the left of your space, athletic stance, feet wide apart, arms out. Shuffle to the right, reach and lunge. Shuffle, shuffle, reach, get low. Get low, get that butt back. Stay low when you shuffle. Move quickly on your toes, on your heels. Toes, heels. This is mod 1 for the rowing single leg deadlift. Come to stand in a neutral position. Bring your weight into that right foot and just pick the left leg up off the floor. Your hands are just gonna move down the right leg as you start to extend that back leg behind you about 30 degrees. Once you get there, we're just gonna do a scapular contraction. So you're gonna draw your elbows up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then release the hands back down. And reset. Let that left foot touch the floor and go again. Start to hinge forward from the hips, balancing on that right leg. The hands slide down that standing leg as the back leg lifts. At the bottom of the movement, find that contraction. Draw the shoulders up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, back of the neck long, and then release the hands back down. Coming back through neutral, continuing, and of course, switching sides. This is mod 3 for the rowing single leg deadlift. Starting with your feet in neutral position. Start to balance on your right leg, dorsiflexing flexing that left foot. Holding your hands out in front of you like you have a golf club in front of you. From here, you're gonna start to hinge forward from the hips. Picking that left leg up to 90 degrees, back of the neck stays nice and long. Once you've hit your full range, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then slowly releasing the hands back down, control the movement. Let that left foot come beside the right. Try not to let the foot touch the floor. And we go again. Start to hinge forward. Back of the neck is long, spine is long. Left leg lifts up to hip height. Once you get there, draw the elbows up and back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Find that upright row. And then releasing the hands as you release the left foot beside the right. Continuing on, and then changing sides.